Let's go ahead and look at the options for rising 11th and 12th graders who get to curate a collection of your choice around a theme or passion of yours. So I'm going to click on rising 11th and 12th graders, and I see right away I have a link that I can join, but first let's look at the instructions. Once you get within that link, you're going to be adding a podcast, an article, an infographic or a piece of art, a film or video, maybe a TED Talk, or a YouTube video, a social media thread if that works for you, a Flipgrid response where you get to tell me about your theme, and then anything else that you find interesting. So right when we get to the collection, we're gonna look for this green dot. We are going to title our collection by our name, the name of your theme, so photography in Yosemite, you'll see as an example, and class of 22 or class of 23. You will include in the description a little bit to hype up your collection. This is what it will look like. Let's go ahead and look at how this will appear for you. Hopefully by now, you're used to seeing that when you get to a menu like this, you should create a student account. When you have the option to log in with Google, you should always choose that because our Sequoia emails are managed by Google. So I'm gonna log in. Once I arrive to the summer literacy space, I see where I'm gonna start by making my new collection. But first, you might be thinking, where do I get those resources? So if you scroll down, you can look at any of these for inspiration, or you can click on this one at the bottom that says Rising Juniors and Seniors, and you should see a pretty familiar looking graphic. This graphic tells you that you have free access to all of these options here at Sequoia. I'm going to give you a link to the Google Podcasts. You can sign up for Canopy, a free streaming site with the library card from Redwood City Public Library. Free movies, free TV shows, it's the best kept secret in town. You also have a complimentary access to the New York Times. It's a great place to find an article or maybe something more interactive or visual. It's up to you. You then have Art Store, which is the sister site of JSTOR, which includes art and graphics. I've included social media threads as an option because I find a lot of teachers on TikTok who I learn a lot from, and I also follow people on Book Talk and Bookstagram who are always writing about books, sharing their thoughts about current events and whatnot, so you might want to share a link. I then ask you to include a search in our databases, so that might include using JSTOR for an academic article or just a piece of information that backs up or rounds out your collection. Finally, you're going to have a chance to speak using Flipgrid. All of these links are right here. So when I click on the podcast link, I can type in my theme. So let's say my theme is skiing. I can go ahead and I can see if maybe the Johnny Mosley podcast comes up, and you can go ahead and look for something that looks interesting, and then you have to actually listen to it. Back to the prompt, you can then look at the New York Times. And again, let's stick with my theme of skiing, or maybe I want to write about avalanches. So I can go ahead and I can read and engage all summer long and try to find out what works best for me. Moving on, I can use Art Store. Now, Art Store is a great place to find graphics. I'm really interested in some of the imagery from the Alps, but here now I'm engaging with these art pieces and I'm looking at different things. I'm not sure what I'm going to include. I need to spend some more time looking. Once I want to include something, I simply grab the link and I include it in my collection. So I'm leaving all of these links open. Finally, I will search my database here. And remember, if you need a password for these databases, the password is always Ravens. And now I have a number of articles to choose from. I have to read the article first to find the one I want. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. And then I need to find a video, and this is up to you. If you have your own ideas of where to find videos, that's fine, but a really great idea is to use Canopy from the Redwood City Public Library. Okay, so they have lots of things to choose from. So you can watch the movie first and see if it fits your theme. I'm going to click New Collection. I'm going to label all of these pieces as I already showed you, and then I click plus. And right there, I can just paste in my URL. So remember that I had this article here. Let's go ahead and actually I'm going to go to Art Store, and I really like this image of the sort of modern ski helmet. So I'm going to select that link and I'm going to include it right here. And then I'm going to decide if I need to add any more information depending on how the object looks. It looks terrible. So I might include a screenshot. I might actually relabel this and say modern ski helmets and tell you why I think this is exciting to look at, right? It's more exciting for you to look at the collections I've already made for you. So for example, you can look at collections that other students have curated, like this one for the Bee Club. Now, this was an example that I made, but it shows you how we have a New York Times article that talks about beekeeping and the science behind it. We have some art right here that includes images of bees and how people are drawn to them. A podcast called How to Create a Pollinator Garden that's taken from Google Podcasts. A video from Canopy called The Pollinator. And then I included an infographic about beekeeping. When you're done creating your collection, we will have a very nice space from which younger students can choose to engage with media. So you're making collections that other students might see down the road. If you have questions, remember, you can go to is.gd/shsmc. You can find my email on this bookmark here in the Media Center. Of course, you can stop by, and I hope you enjoy the new summer literacy experience.